There are both young and old stars in the MLB. Every year, new talent shines as older veterans retire. It's easy to get carried away when comparing players from different eras, or by comparing players in their prime with those past their prime. In this video, we'll look at some of the best players today, paying particular attention to their best years. First off, how will the players be ranked? MLB has given us a group of young stars like never before, all of whom have the talent to become baseball royalty. Maybe these up-and-coming stars will go down in history as some of the best. Any current players, from Corey Seager to Noah Syndergaard, could become Hall of Famers if they play well for another 10 or 15 years. If Mike Trout and Clayton Kershaw keep going the way they are, they'll eventually be considered two of the best players in baseball history. At this point, none of these young players have done enough to join the ranks of legendary players like Ruth, Mays, Aaron, and Cobb. They also have a long way to go before they catch up to the underrated superstars of the early 20th century. The legends made up for their lack of power by having great contact, plate discipline, base running, gap power, and defense. Everyone has their personal preferences and varying standards of greatness. On this list, though, results are more important than reputation. Numbers are fun to count, but the most common ways to measure greatness only tell part of the story. Advanced stats like weighted on-base average, runs created plus, adjusted OPS and ERA, and independent fielding pitching are just as important, if not more so. We started ranking players by taking the average of their wins above replacement after doing all the math. From there, we looked at the quality and quantity of players' work to better understand who stood out this season the most. Followed by Clayton Kershaw. Everyone seems to have forgotten Kershaw's dominance in his prime, even though he's still a mainstay for the Los Angeles Dodgers rotation. Clayton Kershaw was, without a doubt, the best pitcher in baseball from 2011 to 2017. He led the league in earned run average for 5 years, strikeouts for 3 years, and in complete game shutouts 3 times. Typically, a pitcher focuses on one strategy: striking out batters or getting them to hit the ground. Kershaw was the best pitcher in every way, and he has the awards to show it. In these 7 years, he consistently finished in the top 5 in the Cy Young voting, won the award 3 times, as well as the MVP award in 2014. Most of the time, an MLB pitcher with an ERA of less than 4 is considered a good pitcher. Those with an ERA of less than 3 are seen as the best. Well, Kershaw had 3 seasons where he had an ERA of less than 2, which is crazy. It's fantastic to do this for a year, but it's unheard of to do it 3 times in 4 years. During these 7 years, Kershaw's ERA was 2.10. Any pitcher would love an ERA of 2.10 for a season, but Kershaw did that for 7 years. Moving on to Mike Trout. Mike Trout blew up as a rookie in 2012. He won the Rookie of the Year award by a wide margin and finished second in the MVP voting. He also had the highest WAR grade of any rookie in MLB history, with 10.5 wins above replacement. Trout was an all-star every year from 2012 to 2019, and he finished in the top 2 for MVP 7 times, winning the award 3 times. You never knew what to expect from Trout from one year to the next, but you knew he would be great. Let's look at 3 of his seasons over these years. In 2012, Trout had the best batting average of his prime, which was .326, and he also stole 49 bases, which was a career high. He joined the Elite 30-30 club, which only 43 players in MLB history have ever done. This means he hit at least 30 home runs and stole 30 bases. In 2014, his batting average was .288, which was his lowest during his prime. He also led the league in strikeouts with 184, which was a career high. But Trout still won MVP in 2014 because he also led the league in runs scored, RBIs, and total bases. He won MVP again in 2019 and set a career high with 45 home runs. Trout is a rare 5-tool player who's good at every part of baseball. You never know when he'll hit a ball over the fence or a single and then run all over the bases. Next, Miguel Cabrera. From 2005 to 2016, Miguel Cabrera had 11 seasons with a batting average of over 300 and 9 seasons with an average of over 320. Before the 2008 baseball season started, the Tigers gave Cabrera an 8-year, $152.3 million contract, one of the richest in baseball history. In 2012, he won the MVP award and the Triple Crown with 200 hits. After that, he had another MVP season in which he led the National League and the American League in batting average and on-base percentage plus slugging percentage. During the 2020 season, cut short because of the pandemic, the Tigers had the third worst record in the league. Then his batting average was only .250. Even though Cabrera's production was going down, he was still a key player for the Tigers, and in 2021 he hit his 500th home run. In each of his last 6 seasons, he's hit below 300. But his career batting average is still well above 300, which shows how dominant he was in his prime. When he stops playing, his number will be retired, and he'll be the last Tiger to wear the number 24. With a sharp single to right field against the Rockies this year, he became the 33rd member of the prestigious 3K Club. On his first try, he was sent to first base on purpose by the Yankees, and on his second try, it rained out. Cabrera is the 7th player to reach 3,000 hits and 500 home runs. Now for Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is a magical creature. He's everyone's dream player. Why? Because he can pitch like an all-star and hit like one too. That's something that rarely happens after high school. As these kids age, they focus on one part of the game and let the other part fall apart. The product's a great hitter or pitcher, but never both. Ohtani's the best in both of these categories, and he's the only player to do so since Babe Ruth in the last 100 years. He's still early in his career, but he's already done enough to be considered an elite player. Ohtani's had a WAR above 9 in the last 2 seasons, something that David Ortiz, Justin Verlander, and Derek Jeter have never done. Albert Pujols and Ken Griffey Jr. have only done this twice each, but Ohtani, he's done it twice in only 5 seasons. He's in a class by himself. In 2021, he hit 46 home runs, and in 2022, he had a 2.47 ERA and led the league with 11.9 strikeouts per 9 innings. The only drawback this year, his power is slightly down from last year when he went deep 46 times. But his hitting coach, Jeremy Reed, said that Ohtani's contact rates have gone up and that he's a better hitter than last year. This year, 24.2% of the times he's been up to bat, he struck out. In 2021, that number was 29.6%. Finally, Albert Pujols. Albert Pujols had 10 years at the beginning of his career where he was unbeatable every year. From 2001, when he was a rookie, until 2010, Albert Pujols never had a batting average lower than .312. He also had an OPS of 1,000 or higher in 8 of those 10 seasons. During this time, he hit an average of 40.8 home runs and 123 RBIs per season. He never hit less than 103 RBIs in any year. In these 10 best years, he also won 3 MVP awards and finished in the top 4 in MVP voting 5 more times. He was the Rookie of the Year, won 6 Silver Sluggers and 2 Gold Gloves, and was on 9 All-Star teams. In a strange twist, the one year Pujols wasn't chosen as an All-Star, he came in second place for MVP. Like Kershaw, he was the best at his level for a long time. He was a rock of consistency and a force to be reckoned with. During his decade with the Angels, Pujols had some great moments, and his work with the Pujols Family Foundation will always be praised, as it should be. Last year, he couldn't turn things around, and the team couldn't play him every day when future All-Star Jared Walsh was ready to take his place. This season, though, he showed the world that he wasn't going down easy. And on that note, that's a wrap for this video. Which of these players has had the most impressive season recently? Did they play better in their prime as compared to now? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.